Dear all, I would like to continue the discussion of previous year question paper of the subject waste management. Today I am going to cover the questions from the module 5. It is regarding the hazardous waste. I request everybody to go through the module number 5, questions from the module number 5. So I'll be marking all these questions. Okay. So first of all, I will be explaining question number 9A. Explain the various characteristics of hazardous waste. It carries the weightage of 10 marks. So I will be telling you how to answer this. Okay, you have to explain various characteristics of hazardous waste. The various characteristics of hazardous waste are as follows. First one, you have to explain about ignitability. So there is an identification number that you can mention. You know what is ignitability, inflammable. You might have seen in nearby the petrol pumps, highly inflammable. So you can able to recall some kind of material like a naphtha, lacquer thinner, epoxy resin, all are very much highly inflammable material. Okay, that point is called ignitability. You have to consider ignitability. Another one is called corrosivity. Okay, it is identified by the number by using D002. So you have to consider the pH. So like some kind of liquid which is having pH less than or is equal to 2. That means highly acidic material, that will be reason for corrosion. The figure shows the corrosivity. Here you can observe this is a symbol, diamond shaped structure that represents the corrosion. Number 8. Okay, remember this. Also, the base material also will be reason for corrosion. Like in a seashore, nearby the seashore, there are chances for getting corrosion. Why? Because there is a content of salt content is very much high. Moving further, reactivity. Okay, reactivity. So waste identification number is D003. Some material is very much reactive, like oxidation that will be taken place very fastly. To prevent the oxidation, we'll be using the painting. Okay, so like some material, sodium metal you might have heard about, that is very much reactive. Cyanide material, that is also very much reactive. So the waste which is having like a cyanide content, like sodium metal, that will be very high reactive. That you have to consider. Reactivity, oxidation you have to consider. Then toxicity is another feature. So waste identification number is D004. Some materials are very much toxic material. So it is a small content, like some waste material which is having very lead. Lead is an example. Similar cyanide is another example. Toxic. Okay, toxic value. So that will be really harmful to the human being as well as animal. So these are the different characteristics of hazardous waste. Now I request everybody to go through question number 9B. Describe 5 general categories of hazardous waste. What are the 5 categories of hazardous waste? So let's discuss. So first one is called radioactive substances. Some waste materials are having the radioactive. Like if you talk about the nuclear reactor, some nuclear waste, for example, uranium, thorium, etc., which is having the radioactive contents. So if you are moving towards the nuclear reactor, you can see this kind of symbol. That means there is a chances of radioactivity. You should be very much careful like that. Another one is called chemical. Some chemical waste. Okay, some chemical material that will be categorized under the chemicals. Then biomedical waste like syringes, the needles, bandages, all are comes under biomedical waste. Another criteria is flammable waste. Okay, flammable as well as explosive waste. Okay, hope it is very clear. Similarly, household hazardous waste like cleaning chemicals, battery, nail polish, all are comes under household hazardous waste. Then these are the important parameters. Similarly, you can mention about different checklist also. So like we can, if possible, you can add this checklist: F list, K list, P and U list. Okay. I request you to go through question number 10A. List out various physical and chemical treatment of hazardous waste. Explain any two. Okay, let's explain any two methods from physical as well as chemical treatments. So it is one of the important question for your examination, physical and chemical treatment. So there are different methodologies are available. So I'm going to talk about the physical treatments. Filtration and separation is very important. You have to use the semi-permeable membrane. Clarification. So you can separate the material which is having the size less than 100 parts per million. Dewatering is another technique. We already discussed removal of the moisture content. Cake filtration, that is a best example. Chemical treatment is chemical precipitation. You need to use a suitable solvent material. Okay, then chemical oxidation and reduction. Collectively call it as redox reaction. Similarly, solidification, stabilization. For that purpose, you need to add a stabilizing agent. Then chemical fixation, encapsulation, coating, providing the suitable coating. All right. So this evaporation, ozonization, then all are comes under chemical treatment. These are the things which you need to explain elaborately. At least 1.5 to 2 pages you have to maintain for 10 marks. Let's discuss question number 10B. Write a short note on pollution prevention and waste minimization. That can also expected in the forthcoming examination. The pollution prevention and waste minimization techniques are as follows. Management support and employee participation. Management support means for every venture or every activity, the support from the top management is quite essential, like financially as well as morally. If both supports are not available, it is very difficult to implement such kind of waste management program. Training to the employees are very essential. How to treat with the hazardous waste. So they have to get the technical training and how to treat the hazardous waste effectively. Waste audit. Like once the program is implemented, there is an auditor will be there. Auditor will be visiting each and every department of an organization to check whether how much amount of waste is going to be disposed, how they are going to treat those waste. Are they doing the waste treatment, hazardous waste treatment effectively? Those questions will be sorted out with the help of auditor. So auditing is a common procedure for every management activity. Good operating practices. You can take from benchmarking, then total quality management, etc. Material substitution practices, that is another method. How to substitute the material. For example, you are replacing plastic with the cloth. And one example, simple example, because plastic is very hazardous. Material substitution practices is another strategy. Technological modification practices. So you are replacing with the outdated technology. You are removing the outdated technology. Then recycling option, triple R, 3R concept, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Then surplus chemical and waste exchange options. So these are the various pollution prevention techniques. For your betterment, I have prepared notes also. You can go through this. Pause the video and make a note of this. Waste, what is waste audit? Similarly, good operating practices, material substitution practices, technological modification, recycling option, surplus chemical, waste exchange. So these are the various pollution prevention and wastage minimization. So in this, this is the last lecture series, lecture of this particular question paper discussion, which has happened in the year of 2023 April May. Okay, so let me know if you have any doubts. Some students are having the doubts that how to answer this. Okay, anybody is having any doubts, kindly post in the comment box. We are very happy to revert. Thank you very much for watching this video. Happy learning.